podcast good.
So who the hell is Hailstorm?
Hailstorm is my own creation because if you don't know it, my last name is Hale, and
Yes,
I
I knew that.
and I wanted to do a transforming name, but when I got like onto a lot of the Transformers boards, there's
Uh,
most of the favorite characters are
hmm
taken up, and I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to be Starscream fangirl number 13, you know? And so I made up my own little character. I made up Hailstorm, which basically, when I kind of like created her in my mind and stuff, she basically had the same coloring as Slipstream from Animated. The
Oh,
the 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 teal blue and the purple put together.
but
That's
wait, didn't Hasbro put a toy out of that though?
Yeah. Well, Hasbro didn't. The TF Fan Club put out some.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah. So Hailstorm's been around for a lot longer than Slipstream. I guess I don't know. So
Oh, that's funny.
that's my
Huh.
that's my origin for
Exactly.
that.
All right, we survived that. Yeah, but will we survive this? Cyclonus, transform and attack.
Oh my gosh, this is so great.
Welcome to The Pull Bags Origins Episodes. Join TFG1 Mike as he grills this week's guest on just how they got into reading comics and more. So sit back, relax, and enjoy The Pull Bag.
Hello and welcome to the Pull Bag. This is yet another Origins episode here inside the Pull Bag. I am your host, TFG and Mike, and for those of you who might be finding us for the first time, might not know what an Origins episode is, I sit down with one of my friends, one of the people that I might be interested in learning to know of how they get into comic reading, and I basically rake them over the coals for an hour and a half. I will most definitely be bringing up in this episode the fact that IDW nearly teased a certain purple jet dying many, 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 many times because my guest this time around, she has, I don't want to say a hard-on, but
I have
she
a
has a
sick
love
obsession.
affair. She has a love affair / sick, twisted obsession with Cyclonus from the Transformers universe. You know her, you love her, you've heard her on the Underbase, you've heard her on Fanboy Versus. Uh, what other?
I
You were on Radio
I
Free Cybertron for a while too, weren't you?
Yeah,
Couple of
I
times.
get around, you know. I have my own
Wow.
podcast for
Well, you might want to rephrase that.
well, in the podcasting area. I mean, I used to have my
Yeah.
own podcast, and
Random fandom.
yeah,
Yep.
and well, many things in life took over. It's been a
Yeah.
very crappy 2 years. Let's just say
Yeah.
that, and I really do miss that. But and then I've done I substitute every once in a while over at Moonbase too.
Yep.
I've done a lot of things on the Nerd Sphere, and yeah, so yeah, I get around the podcasting area.
It is Nicole-Hailstorm, aka Beatles Diva.
Yeah, in
Hello.
case you didn't know who I am. Yeah,
In case you didn't know who she was,
sorry.
you should almost be called Cyclonus's Hailstorm or
There
something
you
like that.
Cyclonus' gal.
Oh my god.
I have him on my phone as my screen. Most people have pictures of their kids, maybe their dogs. Oh, I have Cyclonus. It's that
I bet the dogs are jealous.
pictures of my dogs.
um, all right. I'm trying to remember the first time I had ever heard you on a show. That's why I asked if you had done stuff with Radio Free Cybertron,
Oh, yeah,
because
I've done it.
I don't remember.
I was on Radio Free Cybertron. I was a regular for few months. And again,
Mm-hmm.
it was that same time. It was of October of a couple years ago, where I just
Mm-hmm.
pretty much some things happened in my personal life, and I'm just like, we can't do this. So, yeah, it sucked. You know, I gave up podcasting probably for a good few months because of certain things, but yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, I was a regular on there for a while.
Yep. All right. So, was there a certain person, your mom, your dad, sibling, cousin, that got you into comics when you were a kid?
Nope. As a kid, see, I don't have that interesting of an origin story because I kind of have two. Um, but
Tell them
neither one of
both.
them are interesting to tell you the truth. Uh,
Oh, come on now.
when I was a kid growing up, I lived in a very small town. I'm talking everyone knew everyone's business, and if you cussed, your parents heard about it before you got home. Okay, you know,
Yeah.
that's the small town life, you know. And so
Yeah.
when we used to go to the grocery store, you know, there was comics there, but at the magazine rack, but there wasn't a whole lot. And
Mm-hmm.
when I was younger, so, see, I'm the one that got it into myself, you know, because the comic books was right by the big video games. You know, Super Mario Brothers was out that time. I'm aging myself, people. You know,
Oh, come
a
on.
big
You're
old
not that.
arcade Super Mario Brothers. So you know, it's right by each other. So like when I'd play Super Mario Bros, I'd see certain comics come out, but there was nothing that really caught my eye except for I'm gonna be really geeky here. When I was younger, I had an obsession with vampires. I loved vampires. My two favorite movies were Lost Boys and Monster Squad. Loved it. I watched those two movies over and over again forever. And so there was a comic book based on Dracula, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, I've got to get this comic book, you know. And so every once in a while, I would pick up the Dracula comic book. I cannot remember who put it out. Um, I'm pretty sure I have a couple copies somewhere hidden in my storage, but um, that was the first time I got into comics was because of my obsession with vampires.
Well, at least you were obsessed before the rest of the world was
Oh,
obsessed with sparkly ones.
exactly. And so now that people are obsessed with vampires, it's got a little crazy, people. When I was younger, I used to get made fun of because I used to love vampires. They're like, that's so stupid. I'm like, and now they're everywhere. And they're
Yeah.
not really vampires. So, yeah, so like I said, growing up in a small town, we were very limited on what we had. And when I was
Mm-hmm.
very young, even when I got older, and I finally got my own car where I could actually travel to the nearest town to me was 50 miles away. Okay. People,
Wow.
I lived out in the middle of nowhere. Okay, so comics weren't really accessible. So,
Mm.
and you know, every once in a while, I would pick up maybe a Spider-Man or even, dare I say it, a Superman, just to see what was going on. Super bad people you could pick up and you'll always know what's going on. It's
Yeah.
kind of like a soap opera. You know what he's gonna do. Okay.
Yeah. Pretty much.
So, and then years went by that I didn't read comics, and
Mm-hmm.
so here's my second little origin story. Um,
Okay.
I love the series Dark Tower that Stephen King put out. I
Mm-hmm.
read it at least once a year, either listen to it on headphones at work, or actually read it. And so I've read it 8 times, and I'm just like, I love characters, I love it. And so when I heard that Marvel was putting out the Dark Tower comic book, I'm like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? I've got more reading. I've got more Dark Tower reading. Yay! You know, I was so excited. And so that's where I started to get back into comic book reading in my adult life. So all because I was obsessed with Stephen King. And then I had the wonderful chance to interview John Barber, who was the person that put that together, and I got to thank him for getting me back into comic book reading.
Awesome.
Yeah. So,
Awesome.
thank you, John.
All right. What?
Sorry, that was a real drawn out story, wasn't
No,
it?
no, no, no. It's perfect. It's fine. All right. So DC, Marvel, neither, or somebody else?
I read a little bit of everything. And when I say I do. I read DC, Marvel, IDW, Image, Dark Horse, Big Red 5. I mean, I read pretty much everything. DC's gone downhill. I have actually, back in the day, I used to read tons of DC, but now I only have 2 titles pulled, and I'm even thinking about taking both of them down. It's just like I don't know.
What are the 2 titles?
Green Lantern, just Green Lantern, and Batman, just Batman. Okay, not Batman Incorporated, Batman and Robin. Because I used to love Batgirl too, but then it started getting a little soap opera-y for me.
No. Okay, when did it get soap opera for you?
Once they got rid of Gail Simone.
Okay, no, wait. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Start at the beginning with issue 0. Okay. Go to about 16.
Yeah.
She's still on it.
Well, the part that got kind of
and...
soap opera is when they introduced her mother.
Okay, yeah. But that had to do with the brother storyline that doesn't last very long. There was only 2 issues. I believe it was either 17 and 18 or 18 and 19. No, it was 17 and 18. There's only ever 2 issues that Gail has not been on.
Oh, really?
To the point of that she had gotten fired and then rehired.
Yeah, and I never picked it up after that. For some reason, when I heard that Gail was gone, I'm like, nah. So I dropped.
No, you got to go back. You got to go back because she is back. Huh? What?
Covers look awesome every time I go to comic book.
Yeah. Alex Gardner is the main one that does the cover on those for a lot of them, and oh my god, he is just so amazing. You got to go back and give that another try, because so far since Gail has been back since issue 19 or 20, she's only not been on 2 of them because I don't know why, but she is the main writer. Marguerite Bennett wrote the 0 Year tie-in, which is issue 25, and she just wrote the issue 30. But Gail is still there. Gail is back. So, yeah, you got to go back and catch up.
I might, like I said, I got to wait till I get back to work. So when I got into my car accident, I had to actually take a lot of things off my list that I knew I wouldn't be able to catch up on. So hopefully I'll be back in the routine here soon. So.
Yeah. DC, I find myself that I can kind of keep reading the other properties that really are, they're only like basically putting out there that it's not actually their property, like Masters of the Universe. I'll read that. They killed Nightwing.
Amethyst. That was what?
Yeah.
8 issue run, was it?
Mm-hmm.
That was fairly good. It had a good concept.
Yeah. With DC at this point, I'm giving the first 4 issues of Batman Eternal a try, but after that I may not do it. I'm doing the same thing with the new Future's End thing. I'll give that 4 issues, and then I may take that off. If I cannot wait to see what Snyder does after 0 Year. 0 Year has been such a slow burn for me. There have been 2 issues in Batman 0 Year that I've actually liked, and it's up to issue 30 now, or it will be up to issue 30, 21. It's had about almost 10 issues. 2 out of 10, that's pretty bad.
You know what? When DC rebooted, Batman was the best thing. I really like the Court of Owls. That storyline. I would love to see that as a movie. That would be, because you know why? It's a different villain. It's not a villain that people know about. I was just like, when DC rebooted that, I'm like, wow, this is good. And of course, spoiler, people, in case you haven't read it, and he goes good. No, the bad guy goes good. No. No. But I really did like that storyline. I would love to see that on screen.
Yeah, I was floored with Court of Owls, because see how I came into it was I started at issue 13 with Death of the Family.
Oh,
so I had to go back.
I'm sorry.
Okay, hold on.
Man.
Because it's the Joker, and I'm thinking, okay, Mark Hamill, okay, cool. He got his face ripped off. That's kind of
I
creepy
will
and
give
cool
you
at the same
the
time.
artwork. Holy crap, the artwork was amazing. But the
Yes,
storyline ticked me off. It's called Death of the Family. Someone should die.
that's my point too. But so I had been reading Death of the Family. I did not go back to get the Court of Owls trades until like the third or fourth issue of Zero Year, so 23 or 24. I went back and I read Court of Owls. I'm like, oh my god, Court of Owls is the best thing that Snyder has done so far on this thing. And yeah, I understand what Snyder was going for. The quote unquote message is that, oh well, the Joker is killing off all his, or gonna kill off all his side characters because they feel that that they hinder Batman and this, that. I get that message, but damn it, if you're gonna term your story Death of the Family, okay, I kind of get the message of, oh, well, the family's not going to talk to each other anymore. They're all going to break up. Yet at the same time, they still all talk to each other. The only one that died was when Talia killed Damian, which was so friggin' lame that they let Grant Morrison do it instead of letting the Joker do it.
Well, the thing is, the whole thing with Damian, that wasn't even tied into that story. That's Batman Incorporated is a whole different storyline compared to the rest of that series, and I can't believe they did that. I'm just like, wait, so you killed off a character that these other characters should have nothing to do with, and you spent the rest, like, you made a dedication for all these issues when these characters weren't even supposed to know about Damian.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, I agree. I'm like, and I'm sorry, Damian is probably the worst character in DC history for
don't
me.
even get me started. Damian is a annoying little. He's a little
exactly. Oh, you can say it. We're explicit. Go ahead, say it.
He's just a little twerp, and I'm just like,
I agree. I'm in complete agreement.
I know a lot of people like Damian. I'm not one of them.
Me either. I'm happy he's dead.
I did feel sorry for his father. I mean, I can't imagine going through that, but
see, I don't see Bruce as his father because Bruce is so enamored and into the Batman thing. Bruce is the Mask. We all know that Bruce Wayne is the Mask, and he's really Batman. And every time I read anything with Damian in it, the only time I ever really saw Bruce bond with his own damn son was when issue 18 of Batman happened, issue 18 of Batman and Robin happened, where it was just images. There were no word balloons, no monologue, but just complete art, the entire book. And I felt the emotion there, but I'm sorry, Dick Grayson was more of a father to Damian than Bruce was. He really was. I just don't like the whole thing of, okay, sure, Talia is his forbidden love, but just because it's forbidden and it's mysterious and you really want it doesn't mean you should really have a child out of it, especially knowing with who that kid's grandfather really is.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, so.
Oh my god. All right.
Yeah. Don't get me started, DC rants. This is what it's telling my comic book shop guy. It's sad when DC does a reboot and in your top 5 storylines is Aquaman.
Outrageous.
Aquaman was pretty good when it was rebooted because he makes fun of himself and it's amazing.
All right. What about your Spider-Man obsession?
Spider-Man did not come along until I started doing Fanboy Versus.
Okay.
Because I was one of, that's why I was on Fanboy Versus. I'm the one that reads the obscure comics. I'm the one that I was never into the mainline superheroes. I mean, I knew who Spider-Man was. I knew what was going on, and I just kept on hearing about what the rest of the guys were talking about. Dan Slott, how amazing he is. I'm like, okay, let's go check him out. And within the first 2 issues that I picked it up, I'm like, this is really good storytelling. I picked it up. I want to say around 650, around there, issue 650. Where things were starting to change with Peter, and then you come and find out, spoiler people, if you haven't read it, I mean, really, this is a big spoiler, when Doc Ock takes over Spider-Man. And I was like, that's when I fell in love. Superior Spider-Man is when I fell in love.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, and it doesn't just happen to Superior Spider-Man. It happened like 10 issues before, because you see the change in Peter and you're just like, what's going on? It was such a brilliant storyline, because you had to go back and find out, okay, when did Doc Ock start planning this, because it wasn't just, hey, let's just do this. No, it was so well written. You're just like, yeah. I love it when writers do that. They plan years in advance and they get you. You're just like, wait.
I asked my buddy, I think you know this one too. I asked my buddy Spada, Balt Matrix on Twitter.
Hey, Matt.
Oh yeah, I asked him. I asked him. So, do I really need to read all 700 issues of Amazing to really get Superior? No. And he said, read 698 to 700 and you'll be fine. I was like, okay, cool.
Just a little bit before, maybe like 694, because that's when the change starts to happen, really big time. Because you're just like, Peter's acting really weird, So... I
was so happy with Superior happening, because I'm sorry, there's only so many times I can see Peter Parker go up against the Rhino, go up against Electro, go up against the Doc Ock, go up against Norman Osborn. There's only so many Peter Parker stories I can see over and over and over and over and over again. And doing Superior and putting Doc Ock in his body was just simply amazing.
Yeah.
My only real complaint about Superior, and this is just a nitpick on my part because I have an unhealthy obsession with the Black Cat. In issue 20, her appearance was not long enough at all. It was like 2 seconds and done. I was like, damn. Do what?
Back a lot here and there. So.
Yeah. But no, with Superior, I have to read that final story arc, The Goblin Nation. I have to read it in trade because I couldn't keep up with the issues. If it was once a month,
yeah, they come out every other week.
Yeah, I can't. I couldn't keep up. I just couldn't keep up. And of course, because of the new movie, they have to bring Peter back. And I mean, I get it. I'm not down on Slott for doing this, and I understand that they're trying to bring in new readers because of they're trying to bring in the movie audience that's going to go to see the movie, and then they want to see a comic book with Peter Parker in it. So I get it. What other Marvel stuff do you read besides Spidey?
Let me just say this. Okay, so I was talking to my comic book guy. I love my comic book guy. He's amazing. And I was talking to him. I'm like, I bet you really loved it when the DC 52 reboot came out, because everyone was getting every single issue, or many issues. Everyone wanted to start with the new, He's like, yeah, between that and all the movies coming out, he's like, I'll probably never go under business, because whenever a new movie comes out, people get interested in reading comics. Especially, like my friend that I went to see Captain America with. I mean, I was telling her like backstory of certain people, and even characters that weren't even in Captain America, and she's interested now in these storylines. And I'm like, you got to go read this, and I keep on telling people, you gotta read the Infinity Gauntlet before the year. I mean, like in the next couple months, okay? If you're gonna start watching the Marvel movies, you got to get, or even the DC movies. If you're gonna do DC movies, just stick with the animated ones. Okay?
and again, we agree, because the one thing I've said for years now. DC does animation well, whether it's the animated series or whether it's the animated films, and Marvel does live action better. Sure, the kid in me still loves Batman 89, but the adult in me sees the problems with that movie. Same thing with Returns, same thing with Forever, even though I'm probably one of the few people that I know that actually enjoy Batman Forever for what it really is. Batman and Robin... Alicia Silverstone in the Batgirl suit is pretty much my only saving grace
I
out of that
hate
movie.
Alicia Silverstone. She is the most stone-faced actress ever. I'm like, please, Kristen Stewart has more emotion than her, and that is really bad
That's
for me.
saying something. Wow.
I'm sorry. She's not my cup of tea, as the British would say.
Yes. Well, here's the thing with DC and Marvel when it comes to the films, is that DC, because their parent Warner Brothers didn't in the past want to take a lot of risks. We've only had, well, to this point, we've had 6 Superman movies and 7 Batman movies.
Oh, you forgot Green Lantern. They did do Green Lantern.
Well, right, but yeah, I'm getting to that. But that's what I'm saying. Like, in the past, what is it, 30-something years since Superman came out? 78. In the past 36 years, out of those 36 years, 7 Batman movies and 6... What did I say? Yeah, 7 Batman movies and 6 Superman movies, a Green Lantern, a Jonah Hex, a failed Wonder Woman television series that never even made it to TV. They don't want... It's probably because of Warner's that they won't let DC take chances like this, and honestly, stuff like Green Lantern and Jonah Hex that didn't really do all that well. But I'm to the point now where I just wish that they would just say it already, that Batman versus Superman is going to be the Justice League movie, and then break off into character movies after that.
Well, have you ever read like the storyline of Batman versus Superman?
I've seen the films. I haven't read it all, but
I pretty much could tell you exactly what's going to happen in the movie. I wish they're going to have too many big characters on the screen that people really don't know about besides Batman and Superman. Yeah, people know who Wonder Woman is, and I ask people this, and this is what we've done on Fanboy Versus as well. Everyone knows who Wonder Woman is, but go ask people what her origin story is. Pretty much no one knows it, and just like
from clay.
Exactly, and I'm just like, a lot of people don't know that. They're like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "She was made from clay from the gods," and you try to tell the story. People look at you like, "Are you serious?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's her origin story." And I think it would be great because people don't know it.
I think it would be really interesting if they took the Justice League origin. What I mean by Justice League origin, I mean the cartoon.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
The fact that Hippolyta and Hades were the ones that made her from clay.
That's true. I forgot about that. Yeah. But while we're still at let me talk about DC here for a minute. DC had some really good storylines, and they canceled them.
Yeah.
I mean, Dial H, that was such a sad thing when they got rid of Dial H. That was such a creative comic book. Go read it in trade, people. I think there was like only 8 issues. Secret Six, that killed me when they canceled that.
Wasn't that a Simone book too?
Yes, Secret Six was. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was such a good storyline. Oh my gosh. Oh, loved Secret Six. Got rid of that, and I'm like, oh, DC, what are you doing to me?
and DC is basically, because this is Batman's 75th anniversary, which, don't get me wrong, I do enjoy Batman. I do enjoy different versions of Batman. Obviously, my main enjoyment is the Kevin Conroy incarnation, but because it's Batman's 75th, they're killing off all the sidekicks. I'm really surprised that news of Batgirl being canceled hasn't come down yet. I pray to God this never happens, because if they cancel Batgirl, I will most decidedly dump everything from DC. But they killed off Nightwing, supposedly, and this is the other thing that really pisses me off. In issue 30 of Batgirl, which just came out a couple weeks ago or something or other, and she actively says, she talks about Dick Grayson in the past tense. because Nightwing number 30 and Forever Evil number 7 were supposed to have already come out, but no, they're going to be pushed back till the end of May. And it's like, oh my God, DC editorial, get your heads out of your asses.
I'm sorry about bringing DC up again, but my God.
No, it's fine. It's not that big of a deal. But see, here's the thing. They've effectively either killed off or ended every single Robin series. I don't even know if Red Hood and the Outlaws is still going. I think that is.
So. Is it? I haven't seen the shelves.
I don't know. But they got rid of Teen Titans, or they're going to relaunch Teen Titans. I saw some cover where Wonder Girl, who she's supposed to be some 14 or 16-year-old chick, and she's got boobs of a 40-year-old woman.
Oh God!
I don't know. It was some weird cover. It's on Facebook somewhere. I'll see if I can find it and show you. But
that's another one a Tiny Titans. They got rid of Tiny Titans, which is,
and they got rid of Little Gotham too.
Yeah, Little Gotham. All the like the young readers and Superman Family Adventures. The only Superman book I really liked. Okay, because they made Superman Family very interesting. Even though when they canceled it, it had a really good ending. Just because it's a young reader's book, people, you need to go read Superman's Family Adventures. It's really fun. You're gonna love it.
See, I'm the same way with Beware the Batman, because Cartoon Network screwed that cartoon over. DC is ending that book, and that was an all ages book. It just DC, curse you, DC. All right, let's talk about giant robots.
Oh wait, you asked me about Marvel. What else? Marvel?
Okay, yeah.
Sorry.
It's all right.
Because I'm reading really good. I've been telling people I was never going to get into this character because he had so many books out there. I'm like, I will never read Deadpool because there's just way too much Deadpool out there. Deadpool does this. Then they relaunched it. Go read it, people. It's so funny. Deadpool and the Dead Presidents. It's a number one. If you've never read Deadpool in your life, you'll catch on. It's an amazing storyline. So that's one of the Marvel ones that I'm really obsessed with is Deadpool. And I never thought I'd be a Deadpool person because before he used to be everywhere. He used to pop. He's kind of like Wolverine. He's everywhere. I can never read Wolverine stuff because he's everywhere, and that's just kill my wallet.
Yeah.
Another Marvel one that I did read, but I had to cancel for money reasons, which was surprisingly good, was Hawkeye. Hawkeye is really well done. I didn't think they'd be able to pull off a whole comic book series with him, but it's really good.
Well, when you don't have him do any superheroing type stuff, sure, you can show people in their everyday lives. You can have a dog that goes and eats his own damn pizza. Oh God,
I love Hawkeye. You don't like it?
I read the first 2 volumes, the first 2 trades, and the story was good. I was expecting more superhero antics out of him with that. That's really all I was expecting. It's not bad. Like, I don't find it to be bad. I don't find that I dislike it to the point where, oh my God, I'm going to rant about how I don't like it. But it wasn't my thing.
I like it. Another one is Journey into Mystery. Before, this was way back when Fear Itself was going on. What was that, 3 years ago? 4 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
When Loki was like the main. I'm a Loki girl, people. I was a Loki girl before everyone else knew about Loki. Okay. So it was like his main storyline, and then he was turned into a young child. I love little Loki storylines, but now Journey into Mystery has taken over as Sif's storyline, which I don't think a lot of people are reading it. I don't know why, because it's really well done. Again, it's one of those titles that I kind of had to put away for right now, but I really like that they're taking Sif into a character. You know, she's like the Wonder Woman for Marvel.
For
right
Marvel.
Now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other Marvel stuff. I'm looking through my comics right now. Sorry.
What are you reading from Image?
Image. Oh god.
Are you reading Satellite Sam?
I'm not. I'm trying to think. Image. What have I been reading? Oh my gosh. Thief of Thieves was one of my favorites. Again, that's one of those titles, but I really love that one. Um, it's basically about a thief that wanted to go under retirement, and he's just like, but I want that one big heist to end it on,
Yeah.
And of course, things are not going well.
Surprise, surprise.
So, but basically, you can start to see where he's starting to become the good guy. Mm. Yeah, it's really good. I really like Thief of Thieves. What else from Image? This is driving me nuts.
I'm really interested in checking out Satellite Sam because it's murder mystery television in the 1950s kind of thing. But I've seen several previews, and it's by Fraction and Howard Schenken, or however you say his name. But it's all black and white.
Oh, I don't mind black and white. I mean, I don't know. Walking Dead's like that.
Zombies, no thank you.
Skull Kickers is really good from Image. The Savage Skull Kickers. If you like your comics that with a lot of humor. One that I really enjoyed that's supposedly done. I don't. Mm-hmm. It was Planetoid. I enjoyed Planetoid. It's really one of those gritty comic books where this man gets stranded on pretty much a barren planet, and then he starts to run into people, and let's just say they're not nice. So things go wrong there while he's trying to save himself. So, yeah, those are about the only ones I could think of. I know I read some more Image, but those are the ones that I could think of off the top of my head. So.
Like I said,
I missed the big one. The big one. Saga.
Oh, okay.
Saga is Image, and that was really good. I still reading that. Well, I'm still picking it up. I'm a few issues behind, but it's really now that this just a little heads up, people. If you're going to read Saga, it's not one that you read in the workplace or out in public. You turn a page and sometimes you're like, oh, okay, I did not expect that. So you're trying to read it like in the cracks. I took one of the issues with me to work. I'm like, oops. They probably shouldn't be knowing about the planet Sextillion.
Yeah, no. NSFW.
But Saga's one of those. It's an epic like space saga. There's some things that you're just like, that's crazy looking creature. You don't have to explain it because it's just accepted. And they've got Prince robots, man.
Oh my god.
It's really that's good. Yeah, so Image Saga, I'd say that'd be the one to pick up.
Yeah, the one I'm most looking forward to, only because I've seen the short film that it's based off of, is Kyle Higgins, who did Nightwing, and does the current Batman Beyond stuff. He's doing his creator-owned called Cowl. That's gonna come out from Image later this month. Is it Chicago organized? What the hell's it's basically what happens if there was a superhero labor union in the 1960s in Chicago.
Oh, that'll be interesting. That will be interesting.
Yeah. So that's going to be an interesting read. All right, let's jump in. I'm trying to think. Should I talk about the giant robots first, or the weird anthropomorphic ponies? Okay, let me say this before you get into it, because I never was, nor will I ever be a brony. And yet I'm the guy that defends Jem. Okay, here's the thing. Okay, My Little Pony Generation 1 in the 80s, that Strawberry Shortcake, hell, even Care Bears were more girl cartoons. Gem has cars exploding, people falling off of cliffs, bombs.
I will disagree with you there. My Little Pony, when it first came out, they were trying to get it for both genders, for both boys. You go watch Nightmare at Midnight Castle. It's creepy. I mean, it's basically a demon kidnapping ponies and turning them into dragons. I mean, it's really kind of a scary show, well, for the age.
For the time, yeah.
And you what they what was the second one? They had I think it was just My Little Pony the movie. They had like slavery and stuff with the Bushwillies and stuff. You're like, it kind of got a little gritty. It wasn't until after the big epic movies it started to get really girly. But go watch the 3-parters. They're really good back in the 80s.
And my problem with Friendship is Magic is it's not a bad cartoon. I don't dislike it. I don't even dislike it because of this uprising of this brony movement at all. There are just certain things that horses and ponies do not like. I understand that Rainbow Dash is a flyer in that universe. I get it. That's what she does. But I'm sorry. Ponies do not jump up and spread eagle when they're excited. It just looks... I don't know. It just...
Basically, My Little Pony is the Looney Tunes of today. It doesn't have to make sense. Pinkie Pie has no bones in her body. She bends in ways that it's like, that's not possible. So it doesn't have to make sense.
I know it doesn't have to make sense, but I've made it through the first last year. I made it through the first, I think, 16 episodes of season 1 on Netflix, and I just kind of like
you missed out on probably my favorite episode of all time because you didn't go far enough. You need to watch Party of One.
Okay.
Go watch.
All right.
I'll give you.
I'll check it out. I'll check it out. I'm not opposed to watching more of it. There are just certain things when I'm watching it that the ponies do that I'm like, okay, yes, I know I need to have some sort of suspension of disbelief, but I'm sorry, there are certain things that horses cannot do, regardless if it's animation or not.
There's 2 episodes I want you to go watch because actually 3 because there's one this episode that people. These 3 episodes, if you don't like these episodes, fine. You're just not going to like ponies. Go watch Party of One, which is the season 1. Go watch Read It and Weep, which is season 2. That was a Rainbow Dash one. And then this season was Power Ponies, where the ponies actually become superheroes.
I remember hearing about that.
And they had to take on the Maniac. Get it? Main? Or
yes.
Maniac.
Yes.
Who basically was the Joker.
Oh my god! I did see the season 2 opener. I don't know. I saw it on YouTube. I don't know. I saw it. It was before I found it on Netflix with Discord, and I thought that was pretty cool. The John Delancey.
John Delancey is awesome, and Discord does make an appearance a few times. But
doesn't he turn good or something or other?
No,
doesn't.
No,
he doesn't.
He's kind of like Loki. He's just like, he's gonna be good. What? He screwed him over again. One of those characters, like, you think he's gonna be good, and then he pulls something out of his hat. You're like, dang it!
Are you reading the current ongoing from IDW for the
I am
ponies?
picking him up. I'm a few issues behind, but I do have it. And then they have a new series called My Little Pony Friends Forever.
Friends Forever, yeah, I saw that.
There's 2, and then of course they're like the Transformers. They're doing spotlights. They've done spotlights, and so and then they're doing a little crossovers where they take the 2 ponies and have their own little adventures.
What's the difference between the Friendship is Magic comic compared to the cartoon?
The comic, I would say it's a little more gritty. If you want your darker pony stuff, go read the comic. It's still kid friendly, but the one comic that I've read, I'm still like debating with people. They're trying to defeat Queen Crystallis, and the queen gets a little upset. She is the queen of the changelings, so the changelings can pretty much change into anything, And she gets upset, and I think she killed a kitten by throwing it against the wall. And I was just like, she just killed a kitten? And I was just like, that kind of threw me back a little bit.
The only thing I can think of is friggin' Tito. If this is torture, chain me to the wall.
Yeah, so it's a little bit darker. You get to know the villains a lot more in the comic books.
Okay. Now, does the comic how intertwined is the comic and the show? Is it intertwined at all, or is it completely separate?
It's a completely separate thing. I mean,
okay.
If you basically know who the characters are,
right,
very basic stuff, you'll get a hang of it. So, like I said, the first 4 issues with the Queen Crystallis, it's really good. And plus, Optimus Prime makes an appearance.
Yeah, I remember seeing that cover.
Oh, the BotCon one?
Yes.
No,
yes.
This Optimus Prime, basically, I don't want to spell it. Just go read the first issue. Optimus Prime makes an appearance, and it's so much fun. You're just that's how random Ponies is, because they have like these little things here and there all the time. In the second issue, they have like this 2-page spread. Was it a 2-page spread, or was it just a splash page? Anyways, and they just have some like random ponies, pop culture ponies. Like they have My Name is Earl pony.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So, I mean, they just put all these little fun things that some people may get, some people may not. That's what's fun about it. You just like try to figure out what random thing is going to be happening in each issue. So,
are you okay? Before we get to the giant robots, are you reading anything else from IDW?
I am reading tons from IDW. Reading Ghostbusters, which is an amazing series. I don't know why people don't read more of it.
I need to get into that. I need to get into that, but via trades though.
There is the coloring and the artwork just pop off the page. You know.
Yeah, it does look really awesome.
The color, like I said, with Fanboy Versus, when we did our best of a couple years ago, that's who my best of for art and coloring was Ghostbusters, because the artwork never really changed, and it was always beautiful. Especially, they had a series where they went around to like haunted places in America. So they went to Roswell and Area 51 and stuff. So that was pretty cool. Ghostbusters is really good. Ninja Turtles. I'm reading both the New Adventures and.
Don't spoil the main. Don't spoil the main. I'm only up to issue 16.
Okay, I won't. But
now the animated adventures, that is awesome, because those are like mini-sodes in between the cartoon and stuff. Oh, I love those.
And that's an all ages one.
Yeah.
The New Turtles one. There's you guys. I mean, people always keep on talking about, the movie's ruining its origins. You know how many different origins Turtles have? Lots, okay? But go read this new origin. Okay. If you don't read anything from Turtles, I just want you to read one thing, and that's Spotlight Splinter, which was my #1 issue 2 years ago. My #1 single issue. That issue still kind of tears me up. It's amazing.
The story in the TMNT ongoing with Eastman and Waltz writing it, it's so well done. Like, my biggest fear in the beginning was, oh no, they're all wearing red bandanas.
Yeah.
Damn it! No! And then my buddy Joe, who does because we've reviewed the first 4 volumes. Volume 4 will be either already out by the time this goes out, or it's going to come out after this episode. We've already reviewed the first 4 volumes in trade, and Joe's been doing his via his single issues, because we're reading them. We're trying to cover them in the chronological time order. And that's really my one complaint about IDW, really my only complaint about them. I wish that they would do the micro series a little bit differently and do it via story versus, hey, this is Micro Series Volume 1, 2, whatever. There's nothing I can do about that. It's their decision as far as, the company that they are. But no, I read that and I was like, reincarnation? Okay,
Yeah.
I can kind of get behind this a little bit. Like I really liked it. I dug it. I thought it was great, and I'm still loving it.
Oh no, the Splinter the Splinter little spotlight. My
Yeah,
gosh, I still think about that storyline. It's
yeah,
one of those comics I have right by my bed because I love reading it and rereading it because there's so much into it. There's a love story, there's a family story, there's a revenge story, and you're just like, oh. I didn't think I'd love Splinter so much until that little micro series came out of him. Oh,
yeah,
it's so amazing! It's such an amazing story. I,
yeah.
I mean, I tell people just go read that one issue. If you read anything from IDW, go just pick up that one issue. It really
Yeah,
is that good, people.
the the only complaint that I've had so far out of the Turtles series that Eastman and Waltz are writing, when it comes to the art, Splinter does not look like a rat half the
Yeah,
time. That's my only complaint. And I'm not gonna
but he's
really
a mutant rat, so you give it.
just yeah. No, I'm up to the point now where they've Splinter has basically shocked Raphael and told him that he was angry too once when they went to go beat up Casey's dad for the
Yeah.
second time. So that's where I am now, and oh man,
Uh-huh.
I'm absolutely loving it.
And
Um,
I love this Casey too.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, this Casey is awesome.
The
Um,
the micro series is really well done when it does come out. Like you said,
mhm,
I like the individual storylines and
yeah, yeah, it's so
it's
good.
such a good series, people.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about the giant purple jet.
We're gonna talk robots. Yay!
Oh boy. Okay, now not any of the other stuff. When you first came to the IDW Transformers, did you start with Death of Optimus, and then did you pick a path, whether it was More Than Meets the Eye or Robots in Disguise, or did you go in with both of them?
Oh, are you talking just about the new like reboot, right? Because I
Yeah.
read Transformers way before.
Oh right, yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll get into that, but um, the current stuff.
The
When
current
Death
stuff.
of Optimus Prime came out, and it led you on two paths, whether you could go to More Than Meets the Eye or Robots in Disguise. Did you pick one, or did you pick them
No,
both?
because to me, they're like two sides of a muffin, you know? One's a little bit better, one's the top, one's the bottom, but you enjoy both of them, you know? And they go together so well because you have your favorite characters and you want to know what they're going on, what they're doing, but each series is giving you new characters that you're just like, I never thought I'd like this guy. And I do, you know? So,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, see, here's my thing. Death of Optimus set it up to where you could pick. And I was
I
like,
can,
my biggest fear was outside of Optimus and Megatron. So I was like, am I really going to like what they've done with any of these characters? Am I really going to like what they've done with basically the legacy characters? And do I really want to invest my time into finding out about new characters? That was my real apprehension. And then Ender, of all friggin' people, Ender said, "Oh my God, that's the best Shockwave origin I've ever read." And I'm like, "Oh God." And I asked him, I said, "So do I have to read the first 10 issues of More Than Meets the Eye to really get it?" He said, "Yeah, you kind of do."
yeah.
So, I went out, I got the trade, and I caught up, and then I got the next trade, and the next trade, and the next trade, and then so on and so forth. And I was only reading More Than Meets the Eye for a while, and then because my choice happened because it was, okay, you can either go off with Rodimus and this ragtag group and search for the Knights of Cybertron, or you can stay on Cybertron and watch Bumblebee try to be Obama. Um, you know, with all his Bumble baggage that he has.
Poor Bumblebee.
I
Oh my
wasn't.
gosh. Poor Bumblebee.
I'm not just Bumblebee anymore. I'm a gold bug. um, But no, I was like, okay, politics or adventure? Let's go with the space adventure. So I went with that first, and then I think it was the Soundwave origin, the Soundwave Shockwave that is 17 through 19.
The Shadowplay.
No, Soundwave.
Oh, Soundwave, not Shock.
Sound.
Sorry.
Yeah, the Soundwave Shockwave rivalry with
That.
Soundwave's origin. I think it was like 17 to 19 or 18 to 21 or something like that. There was 3 issues. I think it was 17 to 19. So that kind of got me interested, and I went back and I read Rid from the beginning, and I'm up to volume 3 as far as coverage here in the Pullbag volumes. We're going to be doing volumes 4 and 5 eventually here soon. And I'm liking it. At first,
I'm trying to get where you're at now. I'm not gonna try to spoil anything. Have you been introduced to Pharma?
Yes.
Okay. Have you seen his interaction with Ratchet yet?
Yeah, and More Than Meets the Eye. No, I'm all caught up.
Okay.
I'm to the end of Dark Cyber.
Yeah, I thought that was Robots. No, that wasn't Robots in Disguise.
No, it's More Than Meets the Eye.
That was More Than Meets the Eye. Okay.
No. I'm all caught up. I just what I'm saying is like in the coverage of what we've done so far in the Pullbag, I've only been able to cover up to.
Oh, gotcha.
But I've read everything through Dark Cybertron. And it was like, okay, I'll stick with both, and I'll see what happens. And then Dark Cybertron hit, and I was really excited for Dark Cybertron to see what Shockwave's ultimate plan was. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, part 1, okay, I got it. Part 2, okay, I got it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like, okay, what the hell does Waspinator's tail have anything to do with this? Where the hell did Rat Trap come into any of this? And I know it's...
You know where Rat Trap comes in? It's called, hi, Hasbro, let's put our little fingers into it. That's the one thing that I don't care that IDW has to deal with is Hasbro. Because that, every once in a while, you'll have just random things because Hasbro wants to sell a toy. And you're just like, wait, that has to do with the storyline. But they have to, I feel sorry for the writers because they have to do it, you know?
Yeah. The only thing I didn't mind was the introduction of Tankor, because we're actually getting a real Tankor toy. It's the only thing I did not mind. But I
don't know if you got to this part yet, but when they have 2 Tankors in the in the room together.
Yeah.
I love it.
This is hilarious. The middle of Dark Cybertron really was dragging for me, and then it got to like 11 and 12, and I was like, okay, let's wrap. Oh wow, that's where they're. I cannot wait for season 2 at this point.
Yeah, the thing is, Dark Cybertron was like one of those slow burns. I did not care for the beginning of it. It was.
See, the funny thing is,
but you had to set it up.
You had to set it up. But the funny thing is. Dark Cybertron was only 6 months because you had it going between the 2 books. Whereas, you want to talk about slow burns, read Batman 0 Year, for crap's sake. That's a year-long event that'll just... But yeah, no, I mean, I agree. There were times, and I actually have to go back and get the 2 trades that are coming out for Dark Cybertron to actually go back and read it at my leisure. I guess I'm turning out to not be a single issue kind of guy anymore because it just doesn't register with me as much as it does with trades. I don't know. It's just weird. Okay. So when in your life did this unhealthy obsession with Cyclonus start?
Well, it really hasn't come out, but I remember when I was younger, I really liked him in the cartoons. I don't know if it was the voice or he was just the stable Decepticon. I'm the girl. I've always liked the bad guys. Okay, they're just more interesting to me. I'm sorry. Optimus Prime, he'd be wonderful in real life, just like Superman. He'd be wonderful in real life, but you know exactly what they're going to do. They're basically very predictable. With the bad guys, you just don't know. And for some reason, when I was younger watching the cartoons, because again, like I said, I grew up in a very small town. We didn't have a movie theater. So when the 84 or the 86 movie came out, and that was kind of like, I wasn't able to go to the theater, and then season 3 came out. I'm like, who are these new people? I don't know who these people are. What happened? You know? And so I don't know. I kind of related to Cyclone just because he was the stable Decepticon, I guess. I don't know. So I've liked him since I was really young. But my sick obsession basically came out with the More Than Meets the Eyes. there's just something about him. He's just that mysterious warrior, and you're just like, oh, I can't tell. You said you're all caught up, right?
Yeah, I'm all caught up.
Right?
Yeah.
When it was him and Tailgate, I'm like, no, you're not gonna do this. You can't do this. I really put the comic book down because I'm like, I gotta prepare myself because I love Tailgate too. I really do. I just think he's one of the cutest little guys. One of my commissions I have is Tailgate and Swerve together, and I love it. You know, the two little mini bots there. And so when Cyclonus was going to have to do his dirty deed with Tailgate, I was like, I can't do this. He can't do this to me. I really was upset. I was just like, that's what I do. I had a healthy relationship with Cyclonus.
I saw the issue when I was reading through it. I saw the one where he scratched his face, and I was like, oh man, wow.
He's got issues, but a lot of those bots have issues.
Yes, they do. Especially the bar owner with a gun. Oh, as soon as I saw that gun, I was like, oh my god, that is so Swerve. Friggin' gun.
Let's talk about Swerve. He is so fun. I love Swerve. Oh my gosh. Anytime he's one of those characters that you just gotta love, but you can't use him all the time. Because you're just like, it's just so much fun. His little bar, his obsession with Blur, you know, the whole thing with him and Wrong, you know, oops.
Rang. Yeah.
Well, no, you remember because he's the one that pretty much took off his head.
Oh, yeah.
Rivet gun. Oops.
Yeah, that's true. Oh man.
No, but I just love Swerve. He's just one of those fun characters. Quest? Let's go to Quest. Quest. Quest.
Yeah. We need to do a quest. Let's go questing. Yes.
He would be an awesome guy to play Dungeons and Dragons with.
Yeah. I was very happy with this, but I was very surprised that they did this. The whole Ultra Magnus turn.
You know what? That was a really good storyline.
It was a very good storyline, and the reason why I'm happy with it is they didn't just say, oh, he's a repaint of Optimus. That is my one biggest complaint in all of my Transformers fandom. I get it, okay? You have to do a repaint of the G1 Optimus, and you have to make it white to make it Ultra Magnus, and then give him all these extra parts to give him the G1 toy, etc., etc., etc. But Ultra Magnus and Optimus are two very different damn characters. Don't just make them repaints of each other.
They are very different characters. Yeah.
Optimus is Optimus is Abe Lincoln. Ultra Magnus, he's a stickler for the rules. I'm trying to think what pop culture reference I can make here. Stickler. I don't want to say he's Batman because he's not that dark.
Who, Optimus?
No, Ultra Magnus.
Ultra Magnus is.
Optimus is Abe Lincoln. Ultra Magnus is.
I'd say Ultra Magnus is more like you said. You were almost gonna say John Wayne. He's the cowboy. You know, that's no holds bar. You know, he's kind of like John Wayne mixed with Sheldon Cooper because he's got a lot of OCD.
God, yes, you're right. That is so scary.
You know, because he's by the book, you know, but he doesn't take crap. So because he's so by the book.
I'm sorry, sir. You'll have to come back tomorrow and buy one of them. the recent episode where Sheldon was trying to figure out a PS4 or Xbox One. Oh my god.
Oh, that was awesome. That was a
Oh,
good episode.
Rodimus. I've always loved Rodimus. I've always loved Hot Rod ever since he was introduced in the film. And the IDW version of him is just... He's more ego than anything else.
I love Rodimus too. Just because, but I really like it when Rodimus gets hurt. I don't know why. I don't know why, because I like the character. But for some reason, like, when Optimus decked him, I was like, yes, because I know he deserves it. You know, because he's like that lovable, arrogant jerk. You know, you're just like, I don't know what it is about him. I like him, but he's so arrogant. The whole Rodimus badges, you know, handing out the Rodimus badges.
The Rod Pod. I love
the Rod
Pod.
Pod.
Oh my god. I love that. Once I get some extra money, Callie is making me a Rod Pod Puggle. I don't care what she says, she's doing it.
Awesome. That would be the perfect Puggle for her.
I know.
I bet it is. Both are very good storylines.
Yeah, they are. Now that Rid has kind of gotten away, well, since Dark Cybertron, they've had to get away from the politics of it all. But
the politics will always be there, especially
yes.
because of a certain character dying. I'm not spoiling that one, people. You know, that changes the whole story.
Yeah, it kind of does, considering that character died and the other Latte character took over again.
Yeah, so...
Yeah. I was half waiting for a certain crown to be put on his head.
that still may come to pass.
Yeah.
But
the complete paradigm shift, though, that's going to come in season 2. And these are not spoilers, people. They've been in trade solicits and everything else. The fact that Megatron is joining the Lost Light.
Yeah, you're just like, that's gonna be. Have you seen this little fan? I don't know, this little fan comic about Megatron being Swerve's roommate?
No.
Okay, because Swerve is always looking for a friend. He's like everybody's friend, but he doesn't really have a true friend, and he's always looking for like a roommate. And there's like this little comic where it's him and Megatron as roommates. And, you know, there's like that awkward silence, you know, and Swerve is looking up to him and he's like, can I ask you something? And then like in the next panel, you see Megatron in his gun form and he's like, I am death! So Swerve is using Megatron in gun mode in songs.
Oh my god. So
I would love to see
Oh my god, it's hilarious. But no, season 2, the complete paradigm shift where you have Megatron on the Lost Light.
Mm-hmm.
You have Optimus going back to Earth.
I don't know if I like that, but we'll see.
Well,
someone needs to kill Spike.
Oh, come on. Leave Spike alone.
No, don't leave Spike
alone. Come on. No, leave Spike alone. I mean, if any human in Transformers history needs to be killed, it's Kicker, for crap's sake.
Kicker.
Oh, any of the humans from the Unicron trilogy, actually. But yeah, no. And then the new new miniseries with Windblade, that's going to be interesting.
That's going to be because it's pretty much the main character is a female. It's spotlighted and it's written and drawn by females. It's edited. I think John's the only guy that's on it, I believe.
I think John's editing, yes.
Yeah, I think the rest of the crew is females. You know, so that's really that'll be really good.
Yeah, it's going to be an amazing 4 issues because I really love how Margaret writes as far as that goes.
Oh, Margaret will do a great job.
I mean, she did such a good job on Rage of the Dinobots, and then
that was a good series. That really was.
Was because it finally gave the Dinobots real care. Okay,
it gave other Dinobots besides Grimlock
actual characters. Yes. Yeah, I wish that they would go back to that. I really do. I know they're not going to. And if they do, God, I hope they don't just because of a certain age of extinction.
I'm good. I'm still keeping my mind open for Age of Extinction.
No, I am. I just hope they don't. Like, I hope Hasbro doesn't ask the IDW people to, because of Age of Extinction, to then do more Dinobot stories that are not already the Dinobots we've already built the characters for in the IDW. That's no. My mind is completely open for Age of Extinction. As long as Shia LaBeouf isn't there, I'm fine.
All I'm saying is, okay, when the trailer came out and Optimus was riding Grimlock, I squeezed really hard. And because we were watching Super Bowl when it came out, and people were like, "What just happened?" I'm like, "You did not just see that." They're like, "What?" I'm like, "You did not just see a giant robot riding a giant robot dinosaur.
What
Really?
dinosaur?
How can you not squee about that?"
And all I can think of is, oh God, who sings that stupid song? Get on the floor, walk. I think it's Walk Like a Dinosaur. Oh God, I can't think of. Anyway, but yeah. All right, what are your top 3 recommendations for the listeners for them to really get into reading? Doesn't matter if it's superheroes, robots, whatever.
Like I said, go read Micro Series Splinter. Like I said, it will give you a taste of the new Turtles origin, plus just a really good story in itself. I just recommend, this is fresh in my mind because I just recommended it, was the new Deadpool, Deadpool and the Dead Presidents. That was really, like I said, because that was a good reboot. You don't have to know anything about Deadpool. That's what got me into Deadpool. Let's see, and I'm trying to think of a DC one. Okay, you know what? I will recommend Court of Owls. It's been out for a while. You could get it in trade. It's Court of Owls and then
City of Owls.
City of Owls.
It's Court of Owls, City of Owls, Night of Owls. What Night of Owls is everybody else's stuff. City of Owls is Batman 8 through 12. Night of Owls is like what Nightwing was doing.
That's right. So
those kind of things.
Just get the first 2 trades. You don't have to worry what everyone else was doing, really.
Oh yeah.
I'd say those are some. I feel bad that I didn't recommend. I'm going to put a 4th one out there. Go read the starts of Death of Optimus and the More Than Meets the Eye and Robots in Disguise. I talked to my like I said, my comic book guy, and I'm like about Transformers. He's like, I have ordered the exact same amount of Transformers, and he's like, I've never had to take it down or bring it up because if people are reading it, they really like it, but no one wants to get into it and I'm just like, why? It's such a good series. He's like, I hear that from everyone that reads it, and so
it's so good.
It is. It really is. And so, yeah, I'm throwing in the 4th one. Sorry.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
I also want to give a little recommendation for younger readers. If you have little young ones, Bodhi Troll is a 4-issue series, which is so dang cute and hilarious. If you read it with your kid, you're going to enjoy it too. Bodhi Troll, it's by Big 5 Comics. Big 5, I think it is. Yeah, it's a very small comic book company, but it's so cute and fun. Like I said, it's all ages. Everyone will enjoy it. So
awesome.
Because I want to get little kids into it. Because I had a friend that asked me. She's like, my little 4 or 5-year-old wants to get into comics, and she's like, what do you recommend? And I of course I went off. She's like, yeah. She's like, oh, okay.
Okay then. Back away slowly from Nicole.
It's just a little 4-issue series. It's on trade right now. It's really fun. Go get that one. So don't even start me with recommendations.
Well, I think I can find one. I remember this from a friend of mine a while ago. She mentioned it a number of years ago. Owly.
Yeah.
It's Top Shelf Productions. All right, so that's going to do it for Miss Nicole's origin story. I'm not sure what's going to be coming up next because depending on if my Galaxy books came in, and I don't mean Guardians, I mean far, far away Galaxy books. If those came in, you'll hear episode 66. If those didn't come in, you'll hear something else. I'm not exactly sure. For now, I am TFG1 Mike with...
Oh, Nicole-Hailstorm. Hey. Speaking of Guardians, go Rocket. Woohoo!
Make your great escape into comics, and we will catch you next time.
Bye.
Starscream here, and I am the Lord and Master of the Geekcast Radio Network. Don't tell Megatron.
You've just heard the latest episode of The Pull Bag, the GCRN's comic review and discussion podcast. There are several ways to get in touch with us and leave feedback for the show. You can visit the website, geekcastradio.com, where you can comment on the episode and all of our different podcasts. You can rate our show on iTunes. Be sure to leave us feedback. Call the voicemail line, 502-526-5821. Please remember to tell us the show you are leaving the message for, and your name. Become a fan of us on Facebook by searching Geekcast Radio Network. Send us an email feedback at geekcastradio.com. Follow us on Twitter at GeekCastRadio. So until next time, make your great escape into comics and unleash the geek in you.